did your association with Howard Jones, for example, come about? Was that something the record company brought to you, or did you know Howard before?
Well, actually, I mean, on paper it looks like the record company brought it to me, and literally they did. But Max Hull had just become the head sort of, I can't remember his actual term, because it was the boss of all the A&R aspects of the newly born WEA at that point, which was Warner's Electro Atlantic in London, and or in England I should say, and they were the ones that, through David Stopps managing Howard, were, particularly Max Hull, were into it. And Max had a company called Gemini with Jeff Jukes, which was an agency in the 70s that looked after Camel and other artists of that kind, Max and Jeff. Jeff had become my manager then, so that was one link. Max had now been in WEA, and they said, between them all, they said, come on, see if you can just see what you think of this guy. Now he'd only put one single out, but that single had gone through the roof, and they were very keen to do more. So I went to see him play at Friars in Aylesbury. You know, after one single, I expected, you know, a couple of dozen people, and, you know, interested in the middle of, I don't want to say nowhere, but, you know, relative to the London music scene. And I turned up, the place was rammed. There were in excess of 2,000 people crammed into Friars, heaving. There were girls fainting in the front row and being taken out by people. I have my own photographs. I took myself out of disbelief. Howard on stage with his little rig, and Jed, the mime artist, and at one point he goes up and plays the organ that's fit into the building, this huge thing. And it was such an exciting gig. This audience were just paralytic. It was an amazing vibe. So it was undeniable, and that gig was only a few miles from Farmyard Studios. So I very enthusiastically said, yes, let's do something, and we did, and it was a fabulous success. My first top 10, top 3. In fact, depending on which charts you look at it, it was #1, but album.
Yes. On
the day of the release, and What Is Love was the single that was released to coincide with the album release. New Song had been the hit a few months earlier, which Colin Thurston had done. But
and you went on to do another album with
we did, and technically 4 albums altogether, but 2 of them were remixes, dance remixes, elongated dance remixes, which were great fun. That was at the time when it was all, again, quite fresh. It got a bit boring later on because it became an expected thing to do.
Yes.
As singles, but at that point we were having great fun doing it. And Howard, brilliant artist, still is a magnificent artist, such a great writer. Really is. I'm as big a fan of him now as I've ever been.
Does anybody love anybody anyway?